Okay, let me first start off by saying there's a huge debate between people about the value of certain drop tests and different things along those lines, and what makes a good drop test and how to make it so every single one is fair. And honestly, you can't do a fair drop test because different sized pieces of technology, phones, whatever, have different ergonomics. They fall differently. Their weight is proportionately different. Really, the only way to scientifically make it so they impact the exact same way is find the true level position of that device and make the ground come up and strike the object. In my opinion, I don't think it's really necessary. Realistically, every single device is going to fall different. I don't take these too seriously. These drop tests are actually just a funny way for me just to kind of poke fun of the whole pseudoscience that goes into a lot of different reviews. You do these and you do find some practical information out of them. For those of you who saw Lou at Unbox Therapy, his bin test of the iPhone 6 Plus was actually really valuable to people who were going to purchase the device. As a consumer going in, when you pay $700 off contract or whatever it is, that stuff can make or break the difference in whether or not you want to buy something. Hindsight's 20/20, right? Because when I look back at the differences between the Apple Watch and the Apple Watch Sport, it kind of makes sense. For those of you who have gone to Best Buy before, or any of these stores, they have different tiers of screen protectors for your phone. You have what would be like the film type, and then you have the glass models, which feel really good. They have like a nice touch that resembles that of the display of the device itself. But the problem with those glass models is they're rigid, and for any of you who've purchased one in the past like I have, it lasts me about 2 days. It doesn't necessarily scratch up, but it shatters, it cracks, it breaks, and the film ones aren't as nice. They don't feel as premium as the glass ones, but they last me. I feel that the Apple Watch Sport might be of better value. So let me tell you a little bit about this drop test and the results afterward, because if I shoot a device, I don't generally take it back to the store and say, hey, this thing's defective, can you give me another one? What I did for this was, because it was a legit drop, I took it back to the Apple store, and I wanted to see what the whole process was for replacing the screen and everything. Now that I've had a chance to look at this, the Sapphire crystal display doesn't scratch like traditional glass would. So in the long run, the display might actually benefit you if you are worried about surface scratches and stuff like that. But for those of you who have bought screen protectors before, you know that Sapphire is much like glass in that it's really rigid. It's not going to flex nearly as much as, say, a laminate like the Ion X or Gorilla Glass would. That's not to say that the Sport Edition is indestructible. Obviously, you can still drop it and crack it. But in thinking about it, it kind of made me wonder if the value of the stainless model versus the aluminum model is really worth it. And when I took the Apple Watch back in to get it repaired, just the screen, just the display cost $350, which ironically enough is the exact same price as a whole new Sport model. Now the Apple Watch model is $700, the one that I got with the stainless wristband, but I found a lot of practical information out using these devices over the last week or so. And I use the Sport Band, I use the I keep probably butchering it, but the Milanese metal band. And the metal band, while it is comfortable to put on and it adjusts really well, it scratches everything up. Like typing on my laptop, I'm scratching my MacBook up. The edges of it are fairly sharp and they scratch everything up. I feel like the Sport model with the magnetic leather or even the Sport wristband is probably a better value for somebody like me. Now, again, opinions are subjective, and I never go into these drop tests or any of these torture tests taking them seriously, like I'm some legitimate news organization or something. No, it's just a fun thing to do, but sometimes you do learn some things on it. And for me, I didn't necessarily want to run out and buy an Apple Watch. I just purchased them for these videos, and I found out that I'd probably buy the sport model in 42, and I get the leather magnetic strap. And another inherent problem with the design, now this is debatable, and I'm sure you guys will probably debate this in the comments too. Most premium watches that you'll find will have some way of protecting the more expensive glass or sapphire, or whatever the screen or the face of the watch is. You'll see a bevel around it. So if you were to drop it, it's going to hit the bevel before it hits the face of the watch whenever it hits the ground. Now the Apple Watch is actually contoured so that it wraps around the front part of the edge, so an extreme amount of surface area is exposed. Even if there was a bevel, I mean, I would probably complain about it too, because it would probably limit the amount of screen space for you to be able to utilize with your finger. Now arguably, you could make a 48mm watch, bevel it, and then still have like a 44 or 46mm face to be able to navigate through. And I'm not a designer or anything like that. I'm just giving my 2 cents out on it. So for those of you who might be considering buying one, or if you purchased one, I'd like to know your thoughts. This is just something that I've learned. This is just one of the byproducts of doing this test. And I never would have thought that just replacing the screen or the face on the higher end watch would cost just as much as the cheaper watch. So really, that's the only difference between the two. You can get the bands that are interchangeable between the two different models, between the stainless and the aluminum. The material of the body and the face is really the only differences between the two. So does it really justify the cost to be able to say that you have that? I prefer the Ion X or the Gorilla Glass. So let me know what you guys think, and don't forget, if you like these more thorough discussions and stuff that I learn about technology, or stuff that I might know, be it from cameras to tracker devices to any kind of technology, make sure you go over to youtube.com/techassassin. That is one of my other channels. I'm going to start focusing on that as much as I can here soon. I'm going to try to limit these videos, the Tech Assassin videos here after this launch, maybe to one a week. Maybe I'll do Tech Assassin on Monday or Tuesday, and then I'll do firearm videos on Wednesday or Thursday, and maybe podcasts on Friday and Saturday, and then mix in breakdown videos and stuff like that as I get budgets and stuff like that to do them. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found some of this information valuable, and I will see y'all next week for a few more rounds of destruction on the Apple Watch. I got some surprises. Monday, Vern Troyer, Mini-Me, some of you might know him as, will be at the range with me, and he crushes it, son. I'm telling you, he's an awesome shot. So make sure you tune in for that, and I got a couple more things in the queue for you, so I'll see y'all next time.